Here we go.
Oh my God, here we go.
Let's rock.
Hello, I'm Lauren Bouchard. This is the cast commentary of the Bob's Burgers movie. We are doing this. It is February. The movie comes out on Memorial Day weekend. Let me introduce the cast. John Benjamin is with us. He plays Bob. John Roberts is with us. He plays Linda.
Hi.
Dan Mintz is with us. He plays Tina. Eugene Merman. He plays Gene. Kristen Shaw. She plays Louise. And my co-writer Nora Smith is here. She wrote the movie with me. She co-runs the show with me, and we are so glad to be able to all get together. We don't have Larry Murphy, our sixth Beatle, and our other regular. He has COVID, and he's not feeling very well.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, I know somebody had to.
Yeah. Well, this will be a time capsule. This will be a time capsule. There's a thing called COVID. Everybody, if you're watching this in the future,
You know what tomorrow is? That's right. Close our little eyes.
Oh, God, I feel something coming on for the live shows.
But your mom's gonna be here any
oh
minute.
yeah, yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Coming back soon. We'll be together again.
Well,
And for this, for the
alright.
purposes of recording this, we are not together, except for Dan and Kristen. You are close to each other physically.
Yeah, we're partitioned by glass.
You too, Grandpa Lincoln.
As per contract.
Dan's
Christmas story. Oh, wait a minute. If I were to tell you about
That's
the
right.
calendar,
So we're
and then
watching the
you get
movie. Some of us can see it, and we can
You
hear
mean
it
it
playing in the
didn't have
background a little bit. I was
No,
going to
I
ask you guys
didn't.
questions
They
about the
did
movie to
Christmas
get
in the
us
parking lot, and they love to
started and
Christmas
to
packages, but it's
just
always been
to
everything.
hear your thoughts
Well, I
and
couldn't stay
reflections on
understand
this
what
thing.
Christmas is worth
We are.
about.
I have an easy
Now,
one to start
let's
with.
see.
We are coming
What's
up
the
on
name of that?
hopefully what will be a premiere date.
Bingo bell.
What
That's
will you
it.
wear to
I
the
used
premiere?
to
This is a
mail
John
there.
Roberts kickoff question because he is the king of fashion.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You're right, John. Pick us out an outfit for all of us.
Well, I think we got to go in some kind of costumes related to the show.
Neck braces, right? Neck braces.
I think we do neck braces at Comic-Con. We save it for Comic-Con and build the suspense.
Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't have said anything.
The movie, I think we got to go in some kind of costume. I'm going to
Now,
go as Tootsie.
children have
Dustin.
Bingo bell, lots of
I'm going to go as
singing after that
Dustin
Christmas
Hoffman and
time,
Tootsie.
and then we're gonna get him
So
something.
confusing. So we're going as characters from other movies.
I actually might go as whatever Dustin Hoffman wore to the premiere of Tootsie, which I'm hoping is just like a beige jacket, maybe some sort of suede, and a jeans.
That's hot.
And I'm gonna dress. I'm dressing as Dustin Hoffman from the premiere of Marathon Man.
The drama, somber, a little more serious.
Excellent.
Dan, you can have Rain Man.
Oh, yeah. And I could see Kristen as the Peter Pan one, the Captain Hook.
Captain.
Well, I bought a sequined outfit that I was going to wear when I thought I was going to be in a TV show that fell apart. And I still never wore it anywhere. Maybe I'll wear it for this. It's very shiny.
Oh, I love sequins.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You're gonna wear it in the show?
Yeah.
Which show is that?
It was the show that Simon Rich developed with
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And I was like, I should get
That
this
was a
because
good
we're
show.
going to go to the TCA. It didn't go.
Well, he's always doing shows.
Yeah.
So you'll get to wear it again for Simon Rich show.
I think I was the one bad luck. When you get invited to do weird things that are cool, they're not going to go. They're not going to go. Except for Bob's.
Oh, my Spiralies! Hey, where am I? Oh, there's number 8. Whew, well, that was too easy.
We're in the middle of the first song. You guys remember recording you doing your singing sessions? Is that a fond memory for those of you who sang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was, yes.
Look, I love that Bob's creates the illusion that I can sing, and Ken is still a stretch, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
And you're a musical like you love music as a character.
I love music as a character. It's what's amazing is not being able to sing, but having Gene, like that through technology, Gene can can sing better than me because he can sort of keep a bit of a rhythm.
It's really easy to sing if you can do one note at a time.
You have to auto-tune one syllable at a time.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I think that's all of us.
What's nice about all of you is that, despite the fact that we do a little bit of, pitch correction and editing, you all have...
Except for me.
Except for Kristen, of course, in her contract, it's always one take and that's it. But all of you have performed live, have sung in front of a live audience. This is not a Milli Vanilli situation. You guys have all gone on stage and belted out Bob's Burgers songs.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. John Roberts, you can sing. You're a singer.
Yeah, John Roberts can hit a note.
He can actually sing.
Me?
You're an artist.
You have music videos, John.
Yeah, you have music videos.
I could carry a tune. Yeah, I got the music in me. Yeah.
But yes, it's true. We've all gotten on stage to sing.
This is my solo. Shush.
Oh. Well, how did you feel? How did you feel when you sang it?
Oh, I got really emotional. Remember, I started crying in the booth because I got really deep into this 9-year-old's fear, and I started crying like I was like Rihanna when she cried on stage singing that song about breaking up or something. I was Rihanna for a second.
Wow.
It was good. It was a good feeling.
And then they were like, that didn't work. We gotta redo it. That was really not what we were going for.
I know. That's when Lauren said, "Don't cry through the song." You can't.
That happens every time I record a song.
I think I might be going through some hormonal changes, honestly, with my old age, because I am more emotional than I've ever been in my life. It's cool.
Right.
Yeah, same.
Me too, sister. Me too.
There's some commercials I can't watch.
Getting soft. We're getting soft.
Yes.
That Imodium commercial.
Yeah.
Reverse mortgages. It's just the lack of planning makes me tear up.
Can we talk about how good the dancing is with the animation?
Yeah.
So good.
And we actually do the dancing, and then they animate it to our dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. What people don't know is that we wore those suits with all the green little balls in a room to do all the acting. Yeah.
For 4 months in a studio. For 4 months. 6 feet apart.
You know who actually did a lot of the dancing? Who's on this commentary with us is Nora. She is frequently asked to record herself dancing and then sends it to Bernard.
Sometimes I volunteer. I volunteer a lot.
She does. It's true.
Oh, that's funny.
And can that be on the DVD as well?
Oh, yeah.
We should put some of yours on.
Yeah, we should have the dancing outtakes to be like, oh wow, this is how
We should.
do it.
Get that shit on TikTok.
David Wayne is going to be on. He's given us permission. He also danced for his character for the Grover song, and it will be on the DVD.
It's funny. Nobody ever asked me to dance.
I think you might be too good at dancing. It's like bad dancing.
Oh, that's a good one, Nora.
So in my joke, we're the only ones you didn't ask to dance.
You're too good.
You're too good. I am like Tony Manero.
Who do you dance for, Nora? What character?
I've danced for everyone. Yeah.
Who knew? She's a secret dancer.
I think our other secret weapon is Bernard, because he loves doing the dancing and is able to bring it to life in a way that I think, no offense, Bernard, but looking at the guy, you wouldn't say that he's, gonna be able to inhabit these characters' bodies so completely, but he really loves dance and completely gets the idea of these big musical numbers and a little bit of silliness mixed with a little bit of actual, rhythm and a sort of a kind of a professionalism that is shocking. He could have worked in 1940s Hollywood.
I mean, I've seen Bernard, I've seen his body, and I don't know why you're so shocked. He can move.
He's a temple.
Well, he's like a muscular Australian man, and I just picture him wrestling like wild animals, I guess. But this movie was an opportunity to go into the dancing and go deeper, do more, indulge, record, more of Nora dancing and more of Bernard dancing, and just try to really bring it and make sure we did the best that we could. It was really, really fun. I hope we get to do more just for that. Just to be able to do more of these numbers. It really feels like the characters really look like themselves even when they're dancing better than they should be able to.
So eventually there'll be we'll have to dance live.
Oh.
It's a twist.
Yep. You work with a choreographer, months of rehearsals.
Yeah, I look forward to the lessons.
I love it. Snap crotch leotards.
I think it's worth it. Oh, we've come to the inciting incident.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Something bad's gonna happen.
And he never been up to the factory before. And he never been up to so he's really smart, this boy. How hard could it be?
Nice shots.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming, and yet it was all set up. It was hinted at that there was a crack in the sidewalk, and now we find out.
What are they gonna do?
We decided this would be a good. This was reminiscent of all the bad things that befall the family in the opening credits of the TV series. You know, you see the car crash into the telephone pole, et cetera, and this was sort of like the ultimate of that.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario, and then it gets worse. Gets even worser, which is I believe is a good writing technique.
And now sinkholes, let's talk about them. They take place a lot in Florida. Is that where this show is located?
They are more likely to occur in Florida because of the geology there, but we are not set in Florida. This show is set in roughly New Jersey.
No.
You've never been to like Coney Island?
Or like Old Orchard Beach, Maine.
Yeah.
They're in Manasquan, New Jersey. No, I don't know.
Is that where you are, John Roberts?
There are. No, we just looked at some houses.
But with the architecture of San Francisco, that's why it's so hard to place. It's the architecture of San Francisco in the East Coast.
That is right.
It's amazing what you can do with animation. You can take buildings from one part of a country and move them to a slightly different part. That's what makes animation amazing.
I know.
Oh, is that what you're saying? The architecture of San Francisco. That's true, right?
Absolutely. Yes. 100% architecture from San Francisco.
Yeah, remember when we were there, and Lauren?
What's that?
Lauren, you took us to. We went out to dinner, and then we walked in front of your old house that you modeled everything on, right? After the building.
Yep. Bob's Burgers building, for those of you that don't know, entirely modeled after a little condo that we lived in for years in San Francisco. The downstairs was not a restaurant, but in all other ways, it is sort of architecturally the same, and the interior layout is exactly that, and it's very helpful. This is advice to animators. Do base your interiors off real places if you can, because then you know the answer to the questions that will inevitably come up. Like, oh, is there a closet there? Is there a window there? And you always know, because if you know the real interior, you can be the expert of it. It's handy.
Is Mr. Fischoeder's mansion based on your new house?
We haven't bought a house that is a. Yeah, we have to wait till we get a good one. Yeah, that's why you haven't seen the interior much. So, what do you think? We got an opportunity to do the movie. My sense was that it was fraught. I was always scared that if you do a movie, you run the risk of breaking your show. And that, in an earlier, I don't know, a few years earlier, if they'd asked, I might have said no. I was really nervous that you can't do a movie justice and come back at the end and have a TV show that still makes sense. There's a sort of a needle to thread there. And I was worried that the show is, we wallow in smallness, and we enjoy smallness and, low stakes or emotional stakes that are internal. And so it also felt really tricky to pull off a movie. What do you guys? Did you guys have any of that trepidation when we called you and told you there was going to be a Bob's movie?
Yeah, I definitely had the same kind of thoughts. But I was like, as soon as I saw it, saw that it was like such a good level of stakes. It was exactly like big enough to be a movie, but small enough to not ruin the show.
Good answer.
I was like, I'm going to be in a movie? Oh my God!
That's me too. Me too.
Could it be Santa? It's finally him. Could it be
It's very exciting. I mean, there's previews in movie theaters. It's pretty exciting.
It's true. What about you, Nora? Were you nervous?
I was just like, how are we going to write a movie when we have to do a show every day, all day long?
Right.
Mostly I just think about how long we're going to have to work on things.
We did it. We had to work
No, there's
along.
no time. Go back. Stop calling.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've often explained to anyone who will listen, which is not that many people, but that we were in the middle of rehearsing that live show, that 2 nights only in LA musical live show when they called us, and I feel like it influenced, at least speaking for myself, it gave me much more confidence. We had this horn section that we were rehearsing with, we had the backup singers, we had commissioned those puppets, we had splurged, and we knew we were going to have the confetti cannons. And so for me, I always thought that we were sort of moving towards being able to put on a big, really put on a spectacle, and that maybe we could pull off a movie. But I think it really helped that we were going big for that live show.
I remember that live show. I remember that moment in the dressing room when you said we were gonna do a movie, and all I could think of was we gotta do some tours to promote the movie. We'll go to every town in America. We'll do a Bob Burgers live show to kick off the movie. What year is this gonna be? And I think the year was gonna be like 2018 or 2017. The movie was gonna come out.
2020.
It's gonna come out in 2020 or so.
It was 2020.
Yeah. And now we'll get to tour our homes.
Virtual premiere.
At least the movie theaters are open.
It is nice it is great to go. The tours were huge. They were so fun. The live shows are so fun, and I agree. It made sense. And John Roberts, you had this idea that we should, do the movie do premieres like Rocky Horror and make it feel like Comic-Con, have people come in costume, or encourage people to come in costume. And I do hope we get to do some of that.
We can do that in each of our towns.
Exactly.
We can go.
Exactly.
Make this like a midnight movie.
I'll host a bunch of screenings in Massachusetts.
I'd host a screening in Red Bank, New Jersey. They do a Rocky Horror there every Friday, so I bet the audience is already there.
I think it would be great. Let's see if we can make it happen.
But by the time this comes out, people will know if we really did this or not.
Right.
That's true. Don't put that in there.
Maybe this will be like The Room, like the movie The Room.
Like maybe this is something for like the 2-year anniversary in 2024. We'll do a celebration of this movie.
Do you think we should do it again?
Do another movie.
Yeah, do you think we'll get it? Do you think they'll let us?
Seems like Nora doesn't want to.
Another one.
She's scared.
She's like, oh my god, I gotta write.
I feel like it's worth doing another movie just to burden Nora.
It's like 3 shows.
Another one.
Come on, Nora.
Yeah, I would love to do another one if this one works, and also do another one where we don't have to make it during COVID.
Yeah, I would love to do another one if this one doesn't work.
Yeah.
Let's make these forever, regardless.
No matter how good they are.
It's very convenient.
Yeah.
It's very convenient to be in voice acting during COVID.
True.
Yeah.
One of the top jobs.
Yep.
Well, this was a bright light during COVID. Because we pretty much started during COVID, and it was, although difficult to be away from everyone, it's definitely really amazing to keep working and laughing.
It's true.
Yeah, just so the people listening know, I haven't seen my cast except for Dan, who I'm not gonna touch the partition like
not yours.
in years. My cast.
We're yours.
In a couple years now, maybe almost 3 years, I think I haven't, and I'm used to seeing them a lot more. So it's gonna be great to touch your faces again, like I like to do.
But the virtual interactions during the first half of COVID, like when we would record, were some of the only human interaction we had. We were allowed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chit chat.
It was bittersweet.
A lot of chit chat. It was the only time we were allowed to talk to people.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's what I don't miss: the smell of John Roberts' cologne.
Oh, first of all, it's such a nice cologne. It's not like a gross cologne-y smell.
I have a Proustian memory of that. Your cologne. It takes me back.
You hate anything that smells good, and I smell delicious. Everyone always says, wow, you smell so good, and the only person that doesn't is you. And if you'd ever smell your breath when you'd been in the booth, it's not pretty.
I'm sorry about that. That's true. I will get that fixed.
No, just kidding. That's not true. That's not true. I
I
lashed
have
out.
been meaning to. I've
lashed
been
out.
meaning to.
No, you've never had bad breath. You've never had bad breath. If anything, you have a very dry lip. And that can be very distracting sometimes. But very dry, dried out, pruned out face. And those evil blue eyes, those piercing, judgmental eyes. Just
I didn't mean to say
through
anything.
my soul. But other than that, we have a beautiful relationship.
I should not have said anything about the cologne.
I just want to say I hope everyone loves this movie and all of the shows that we recently made, and not to be a cop out, but I think these things were written and produced and filmed in extreme circumstances. Like everybody, including animators and writers and voice actors, were doing it like in our closets, in an office, lots of us with kids trying to learn and running around us. And so I guess these shows in this movie kind of coming out from a period of extreme duress. So if you feel like the quality's bad, I'm sorry. We did the best we could.
I went back into the closet for this movie.
Yeah, no, I think it's great that you're pointing that out, and it's worth celebrating and recognizing the crew in particular. I mean, this movie here, we were trying to do the best version of Bob's that we'd ever done to make everything movie quality and beautiful, and we have to do it under the hardest circumstances. We have to do it, by remote, and do it with almost everything going against us. And so to the extent that we achieved it and we made the movie we wanted to make, it really is miraculous. And did the TV show at the exact same time. It is extraordinary, and it is there are people who worked really, really hard under really weird and sometimes uncomfortable circumstances, and it's kind of incredible that we were able to stay in production at all. I know animation, like we got sort of, like John was saying, like we can do it. It's, during lockdown, technically it's not a risk in terms of our health, but boy, oh boy, from every other point of view, it definitely got harder.
Especially if you didn't have a sound booth and they were doing construction next to your house every day. That was rough.
Yep.
Yeah, it's why there's so much banging in all the Gene lines.
We had to write it in.
A lot of renovation happening. People were like, well, if I'm going to be home for the next 2 years, I'm turning it all into an office.
There's so much that had to be written into the movie. Birds constantly chirping.
A lot of renovations.
Toddler.
Babies crossing the street.
Dogs.
All the kids have more kids?
Yeah, babies walking by outside the restaurant.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
So we're saying just be nice about the movie.
It was a lot. There was no question, but we did leave it all in the field. It definitely, we had great, I think, conversations with the studio about when we could, really be ready with this thing, and they were generous and made sure that we had time to finish it, and that was great. That was helpful. Really felt, like, all right, we'll be behind our original schedule, but in most other ways, we were kind of, arrived in a perfect, I think, a perfect release date. Memorial Day weekend of this year is not only good, hopefully, please, knock on wood, from the point of view of public health, but also it happens to be almost exactly when the movie is set. We really wanted to come out on the last, weekend before school ends, because this story is about the last week of school before the end of the year, and going into summer, and it just was so important to us that we didn't end up, premiering in the fall or in the winter. Yeah. We got lucky there.
Yeah, it's easier to dress in a costume too.
Or having to add a bunch of weird Christmas imagery throughout.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Let's rock and roll.
What are you looking at there? A fun rock? Police! That's evidence! You should have given that to the police.
What, Toothford? No, this is mine. I earned it. When you go into a hole...
Accidentally fall into a hole?
Gracefully tumble in while screaming?
Go into a hole, you get to keep whatever lands in your mouth. That's a rule.
That's true under the bleachers, too.
Plus, look at it. Isn't that the weirdest shaped tooth you've ever seen?
Okay, maybe not too close.
You can't handle the tooth.
It was in my mouth, Tina.
It's just, I think it's like against the law for you to have that.
Don't worry, it's just a souvenir. I'll keep it to myself. Check hacking people a dead man's tooth.
And she's showing the whole school.
I went down to the sinkhole at night, found a skeleton. This tooth fell in my mouth. Somebody say that's badass? Like the ultimate dead man's drop? I mean, I guess, maybe, I don't know.
It was very dramatic, and we got it all on tape. But we gotta get it transferred to a format that anyone else in the world has.
My dad has that kind of player.
This just looks like that kind. Questions.
Oh my God! Eli put his retainer on a chain and gave it to you. So romantic.
Yeah, we're gonna be summer boyfriend girlfriend.
TV studio.
Remember this part?
I do. We had to figure out how to get in as many characters as possible, and it was harder than we thought. We thought we could just run through all the favorite guest characters and they could just pop in, but many had to be cut from early drafts because we just couldn't fit it all in and make a movie that wasn't 4 hours long.
Is it too late to add Matt Damon?
Like a cameo or as a character?
We have the character design.
That could work.
Whichever.
He was the one you had to cut. You just couldn't find room.
Yeah.
It was either him or Ben Affleck. You had to cut one.
Let's go on.
Yeah. Him. Yes.
Here's John Benjamin's favorite character to play, Ms. LeBon's.
Fourth graders, why are you not sitting down? Or are you sitting? It's hard to tell. You're all so small.
The most grueling character I play on television.
That's right, emotionally.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. The one where I can't stop coughing after for a half hour.
Amazing art director on this movie. I want to recognize Reuben Hickman while we're watching some of these scenes. The lighting and the light, the actual idea that there's a directionality to the light, and of course shadows on the characters, but really just shadows everywhere, light everywhere. It was so fun to go to every single meeting that we had about production design, background design, prop design, everything, because it was all lit by this guy with this incredible eye and great touch. I thought it was like a sort of, some of my favorite meetings were just going in to see what the art was looking like. It just, at every moment, it seemed like somehow the show, but as painted by Edward Hopper or something like that, it just kept getting more and more moody and evocative and kind of real.
Are you hitting on the movie, Lauren?
I was really impressed by the people working on this film. I will admit, I was really impressed. I thought that it would be the picture would be harder, but everyone was extraordinary. Bernard, such a talented director and artist, that the art was just always there. It was on us, Nora and me, to ruin it. It was ours to lose.
Wasn't everybody worried that the show would look terrible after the movie, just because the movie is so beautiful? Like when you clicked from the front of the restaurant, like from the movie version to the regular show version, you were like, ugh. But it'll be fine. Forget I brought it up.
Well, now I'm worried.
Nora.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm sure we could always, triple the budget to make it always movie quality?
It followed the rules of Dogma 95. Is that correct?
That's correct. We had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, was this movie done on an iPhone? That's what I read.
It was all natural animated light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had. I think we have. Hopefully, it will be some sort of fun to go back to the TV show and experience it after the movie. In terms of story, we tried to make sure we brought everyone back, like that we did no harm. First, do no harm. We had to, have the characters all have an arc and have the whole thing feel really eventful, and then come back and you could watch an episode that night if you were so inclined, and it wouldn't feel discontinuous. But the shadows, nothing we can do about that.
They're I think the lighting is wonderful. And I'm glad it sounds like you didn't kill anyone in the movie. You didn't, at the end of the movie, all the people who are in the world, in the universe.
What you shouldn't say. We should not say.
Right, we won't say which of the main characters we killed until you get to the end of this commentary.
Well, I don't think you'd watch this for the movie for the first time with the commentary. I don't think we need to worry about spoilers.
Right. That would be a weird way to do it.
First, I want to hear what they have to say.
Maybe you got into a skiing accident and you're on quite a bit of Vicodin, and this is how you're watching the movie.
It's true. Someone right now is trying to click commentary off.
Right Right now? They waited this long?
For the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I can't figure this damn thing out.
Wondering how we know that they're 81 years old and on Vicodin.
From a skiing accident?
It's a big part of our demographic.
Yeah, well, they got into the skiing accident when they were 78.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's a sad story.
And there's only 1,600 people in the world left that have a DVD.
Yeah, we're hoping to get all of them a copy anyway. This is for you. It's for you, you 1,600.
Will this also be available as commentary through iTunes?
Good question. I don't know. That's a great question.
This is like the Pam and Tommy Lee tape. $89.99.
You know how I don't know if he's innocent, but he's going to prison.
Well, at least the other prisoners will like his eye patch. That's a good look for prison.
I'm really sorry for the telling you guys. I always want to make it up. What?
Bye, kids. Have fun at school.
Mr. Mary, another sled.
Math homework. I was really winging it. 4.
I hope so too. Good
This
guess.
watermelon was saved today.
All right.
Look at that light.
Look at that light. Beautiful.
You only get light like that in one place, Manasquan, New Jersey. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
It's true. Based on the arc of the sun, that is definitely Jersey light.
Wait, is this happening at 2 p.m.?
Yeah. No. This was 8 a.m.
That is Jersey light.
Yeah. The whole thing has been worked out within an inch of its life, or we cheated. Either one is true. Both are true. When we asked about the direction of the sun, it was often time correct, and then other times we cheated, and I felt no shame. It was always for a good reason, or creatively.
Question. For the TV show, were you ever like, oh, let's consider the light source?
Oh, yeah. Every once in a while, for sure. Yes, we've had some early morning or, mid evening types of shows where it's like, okay, where does the sun set and what would sunset look like if it's explicitly in the story? But it's few and far between. It wasn't as much as a topic of conversation.
In here, there was like a sunset coordinator.
Yes.
For the TV show, it's just like, it's around 4 p.m. Who cares?
Yep, that is right. We actually tracked the time of day through every scene, and it was definitely more than one person's job to make sure we got it right.
Whoa. There were 2 sunset coordinators. I know that's what they're called.
Yep, 100%. It's all union gigs.
12-hour turnaround. The whole thing.
Yeah, and you can't use the sunrise coordinator for the sunset.
No.
Made that mistake before.
Stay low, follow my lead. Try to look like alley trash.
Or raccoon poop.
They did it. They're saved. Oh.
Kids are off on their adventure. A little mystery solving afoot here. We were doing a genre riff here. Nora, do you want to speak to this? We talked ad nauseum about whether it was a true mystery or a true musical or it was just a genre mashup. We settled on the latter, but it was really interesting to figure out how much of the formula we wanted to use.
The formula of a mystery.
Yes.
The formula of a musical is just that every once in a while they're singing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't negate something being a mystery, or does it?
I would say the two are compatible, but the more music you put in, the less everything else matters. We pared back.
That's what Murder, She Wrote. That was their
That's the writer's room mantra on Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, exactly.
Fewer songs.
That was a great show. Really got me through COVID.
I mean, if that only had music, it would have been a great show.
But the more music you put in, the less mystery can happen.
It was more like, I think it was how confined do we feel by genre conventions and how much did we want to take. Sorry, I know I posed this as a question to you, Nora, and then I never asked you a question. But I think it was like, what's the thing that we need and want from for example, a murder mystery or a musical, and what do we not want to feel compelled to do? And it was, I found the whole thing exciting. It was kind of fun to figure out what the formula was and then figure out what ways we weren't obligated to follow it, strictly.
Well, we knew we needed clues that they found that came together at the end, because we've seen that on things.
That's the mystery.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they had to go places and talk to people.
Yeah.
So they did that.
We had a draft where Bob and Linda were much more involved in solving the mystery, and we pared that back.
Yeah, it was like LA Confidential type thing where they're both trying to solve it at the same time from different angles.
Oh, really? But,
Yep.
but as actors, we could not have pulled that off.
Yeah, I don't know if I got that in my chops.
You guys saved,
help,
you saved the songs for, like, sort of the internal desires of the characters, right? That's what I sort of got.
Yes, there's the I Want song at the beginning. They want to have a great summer, and then there's Louise's I Want song, which is kind of mixed in with these carnies.
Yeah, with the mystery.
Yeah, and with these characters who in some ways don't get a ton of dimensionality, but they get a song, which I thought was nice. That the carnies and the kids are kind of one is questioning the other as if it was a murder investigation, but in fact they're all kind of on the same side, looking for a little respect, feeling a little mistreated, which was, we thought it gave the carnies a reason to be in the movie.
I would say also if we're like, I don't know, probably putting too much on the song, but if it's a movie about optimism and pessimism, that the Lucky Duck song, they sort of just accept their fate pessimistically, and they're like, we'll just, be down on our luck and stay that way. And then Louise is like, I'm going to, she, I guess, takes a more optimistic approach of actually becoming activated and stuff. If people want to write a paper about it, I don't know.
I like it.
I like that.
I can't wait till this movie is assigned in a lot of different classes about a lot of stuff.
And in film class.
You never know.
If you're listening to this in film class, switch colleges.
Well, Lauren, what did you like about writing a movie version versus a TV version? What was the freedoms you could enjoy more by making a movie of the Bob's family?
I like every single part of it. I found the process to be so pleasurable. It was so much fun. We were in this very room, Nora and I, for many weeks at a time, and it was, it felt like taking a class. I myself have not written a movie. I don't think you have either, Nora. So we had to learn how to do it at the end of every day.
Without reading any books. We promised we'd read no books about it. People kept trying to make us read books. We said, no.
We skimmed the cliff notes.
Not even Catch-22?
We were aware there were rules.
Save that cat.
We were told we were in violation of some of the cat rules, yeah.
Every day, Robert McKee would come over and talk to us for 8 hours.
This isn't a story?
Say that again, Robert. Sorry, Lauren, what were you saying?
It's modeled after Atlas Shrugged. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's correct. A lot of people don't know that.